In today's video, we will be looking at topic A.1.1 water. Our first understanding is why is water considered the medium for life? The first cells are believed to have evolved in the depths of the ocean, which is contrary to Darwin's belief that they were formed in ponds. Here, some solutes got trapped within a membrane and chemical actions occurred, which is what scientists believe caused the formation of cell. There are a few reasons that life on Earth is dependent on water. First, its solvent properties. Water helps transport molecules around the body. Second, metabolism. Chemical reactions for metabolism such as photosynthesis and respiration take place in water. Thirdly, temperature buffer. Metabolic reactions require enzymes which in turn need specific temperatures in order to function effectively, and water helps to buffer temperature changes in cells because of its relatively high specific heat capacity, which we will cover more in understanding 1.6. Lastly, it maintains biological structures. Water contributes to the formation of cell membranes, which impacts folding of proteins and surrounds DNA to support its double helix structure. Our second understanding is hydrogen bonds as a consequence of polar covalent bonds within water molecules. Water is composed of two hydrogen atoms bonded covalently to an atom of oxygen. However, since oxygen is more electronegative, meaning it is able to attract more electrons than hydrogen, hence the sharing of electrons is unequally distributed, with electrons being pulled more towards oxygen. This creates a partial charge, with oxygen gaining a partially negative charge and hydrogen gaining a partially positive charge. This is why water molecules are said to be polar in nature. On the other hand, the bonds between water molecules are hydrogen bonds, and they give water its unique properties. Hydrogen bonds are individually weak because of their intermolecular force of attraction, but since there are so many of them, they are strong overall. The maximum number of hydrogen bonds that can be formed per water molecule is 4. Next, cohesion of water molecules due to hydrogen bonding and its consequences. Hydrogen bonds between water molecules allow for them to move under tension. Cohesion is the ability of water molecules to be attracted to each other. This is an important distinction between cohesion and adhesion, which we will discuss in the next slide. There are two main applications of cohesion. Firstly, is water pulled up a tall tree from its roots through the xylem to the leaves. Since water molecules are attracted to each other, they are pulled as a long continuous chain that is able to withstand large tension. The second application is surface tension, which is caused by cohesion, which results in water behaving as though the surface of a body of water is covered with a stretched elastic membrane. Next, adhesion of water molecules due to hydrogen bonding and its consequences. Adhesion is caused by bonds between water and the solid surfaces of polar molecules, causing water to stick to the surface. Porous solids have a greater surface area that is attracted to water. Capillary action is defined as a process of a liquid flowing in a narrow space and is the result of adhesion of water molecules to a surface. This process releases energy as hydrogen bonds are constantly replaced and formed. Some examples of this include: first, water moving through soil from underground sources and through the xylem, and secondly, water moving through glass tubes, paper, or cellulose as a result of adhesion. 1.5. Solvent properties of water linked. Biological molecules can either be hydrophilic or hydrophobic. Hydrophilic substances are soluble and polar in nature. Examples include glucose and ions such as sodium chloride. Hydrophobic substances are insoluble water and non-polar in nature. Lipids are example of hydrophobic biological structures. Another substance to keep in mind is oxygen. It is non-polar in nature, but since it is quite small, it does dissolve a little but becomes saturated at lowest concentrations. As a result, oxygen is transported through hemoglobin. But as temperature increases, solubility of oxygen decreases. 1.6. Physical properties of water and its consequences. In this particular slide, we will be looking at buoyancy and thermal conductivity. Buoyancy is the upward force exerted on objects with a magnitude equal to fluid displaced. In order to overcome this, the black-throated loon have solid bones, unlike most birds. This increased weight compresses air out of its lungs while diving. In ringed seals, however, the layer of blubber that exists under its skins improves buoyancy and allows insulation. Second, thermal conductivity. It is defined as the ability to transfer heat energy. The conductivity of water is 30 times that of air, which makes air a greater insulator in colder climates. As a result, the black-throated loon spends a majority of its time underwater catching prey. However, since water has a greater conductivity, aquatic animals are at more risk of losing body heat. Next, viscosity and movement and specific heat capacity. Viscosity refers to the resistance of a fluid to flow. Viscosity of water is much higher than that of air, which enables the black-throated loon to fly without much resistance. While both the loon and the ring seal have a streamlined shape, with the loon having webbed feet and the seal having flippers to allow quicker movement through water. Specific heat capacity is a measure of energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. Water has a higher specific heat capacity at 4,200 joules per kilogram per Celsius compared to air, which has a specific heat capacity of 1,000 joules per kilogram per Celsius. This means that a greater amount of energy is required to raise the temperature of water. This makes aquatic environments stable since the temperature changes much more slowly, which allows for optimal enzyme activity. Moreover, since the density of ice is lower than that of water, ice floats on water, giving the ring seal a stable habitat both underwater and on ice.